Okay, so title, you remember? So we can give it a title. We can say, um, okay, well, this is one thing. I think we should work with a particular web page. We should try to work with a particular web page. Let's say, um, but I don't want us to work with something complex at the same time. I want us to work with a simple structure. Or you know what? Let's just proceed. We'll get it. It's better for us to work with, you know, our own page so that we can have better understanding. If we try to recreate, then it might become distracting. Let's just follow on with this. So title, let's give it a title. We can say lessons on HTML5 in English language, and then we have it like that. So don't forget, as you type, you should save Control S or Command S just to save, just to be sure you are saving your code. So we have it like that. Then go to the next line. Let's have all other tags that are usually contained in the head. That's meta tags. We have usually we can have more than 3 tags, but the basic ones that are standard and necessary or important, you can have them. We have the first one, the first meta tag, which talks about the the character sets. CH, you can have it there already. The VS Code will already suggest to you, so you can just select character set, and it's usually capital letter UTF-8, and you save. Then move to the next line. Another meta tag, which is for you can have attributes inside the meta tag. I explained attributes in the last class. So attributes will always serve as extra information that describes the particular content within specific tag. So this is meta tag. We can go ahead and just type, just leave it there. It's going to be empty. So we need to describe what this meta tag is used for. So that's why we need to have attributes. It's just like saying, okay, a label for this meta tag. So name, for example, is an attribute. So inside name or under name, we need to now put what the content really is. So this name now, what is the name? In this case, we say, okay, is it author or description of the website? So name is author, then content of this meta tag is what? Who is the author? We can say happiness, for example. Control S or Command S to save. Go to the next line, another meta tag. Put attributes inside the tag. And I said there are self-closing tags that don't necessarily require closing tag. So they come in one, but you can add attributes inside them. And there are other tags that have opening and closing tag. They come like that. So the moment you type it and enter, you see it already. So one of them is this meta tag. Just put in the attributes. So the next one now is we have name again, the same format. It's going to be description of the website. Description. And I said all of these are not visible in the browser. Content, enter, which is description of this website. This website, you can type basically this website. So whatever information you type in here is going to be useful to the browser. So the browser can understand what this website is about, and it can help you SEO search as well. It can help push your website, forward for suggestions whenever people search certain keywords on the Google space. Do you understand? This website is basically for practice. Let's leave it like that. That's enough. Control S and save. Now let's not forget we need to declare our language as well for the HTML. Enter HTML and add language attributes. Language attributes. So attributes also can be referred to as extra information. So lang, you see, VS Code has suggested it. You enter. What is the language? English. En. You can enter. No, not English like that. En-US, or you can leave it as en. It's still the same. Save. Then what else? We've added title, and then we talked about links. We want to link. Before we talk about link, before we push to link, let's also have body. Don't forget, we have body, opening and closing tag. So whatever is in the head tag is never visible in the browser. What you see in the page is the body, whatever is within the body. If you run this now, if you go live with this, nothing is showing. You can see nothing is showing. It is blank because there's no data in the body, but we've actually loaded data in the head section, which is not visible like this, but the browser already sees it. The browser can read it. So we can, if we inspect elements, for example, if we inspect, you see the code from here in the browser. This is exactly how users will see it. See, it's empty. They can't see whatever is in the body, but they can see other details. Lang, this is exactly how they see it. Plasmo, CSUI, Ed, you can see all these other details. You can see this is how other people will see it in their browser. So let's go back. Let's close this, and then let's, for example, and add should I say properties, or add instructions, or write code as per CSS for our HTML page. It will take effect in the page because we have linked both files. So if you come here, let's say for the HTML itself, for the HTML, and then we have curly brackets. So when we want to type in figure here, we want to put in figure in the, we want to put in properties in the CSS file. You should always use curly brackets, not angle bracket. When you're writing the code in HTML, you use angle bracket, but when it's CSS, you use curly brackets. So HTML, this HTML now is for the entire HTML. So we want to say, okay, font size for HTML, and I said the typical font size for HTML page is usually 16 pixels, but you can choose to increase it if you want. So I can say maybe I want to do 24 pixels, and then I enter. If I break this, the curly bracket is here, it still doesn't matter. It will still have the same effect. But I can just make my code look neat. I can Control S or take this back, and then it's like that. Command S, which is to save. So I can come back to the next line. If I want all the paragraphs, I have to, and then open the curly bracket, and then type color, enter, and then give it a particular color. So I give it brown, for example. That means all the paragraphs I'm going to be writing in my HTML will have color red. You can try it. If I come here now in the body, I start with a paragraph. P for paragraph, enter. I type Basit is a boy. Control S to save. If I run it, now I did not apply any color to this. I just typed paragraph. But because I've linked the CSS to this file in this head section, linking to this CSS, I've created this file, and I created a link from this HTML to link to this CSS, and I also impute details in this CSS, just like giving instruction. that anything that has to do with paragraph should be in this color. And then HTML here, I wrote P paragraph. Automatically, because of this link I have here to this main.css, it will inherit all the properties I've recorded in this main.css to affect any element that is here in the HTML, as long as this link is there. So because I input in this what's it called, main.css, that this particular paragraph, for example, all paragraph, this means all paragraphs that are going to be displayed in the HTML file, in this HTML file, must be in brown. So if I come here, I type paragraph and I paste it here, I say Basit is a boy, paragraph. I don't need to um, uh, uh, add color to this anymore because I already have a link. So if I run it, for example, if I run it, go live, it's going to show.
Yes, sir. Yeah. Yes, sir.
So are you getting it? If you are not getting it, please let me know so that we don't just copy and paste and just rush over things.
I'm getting it, sir.
Happiness, you are not talking.
All right, I'm trying to understand. I think I understand it to this point. So, like, we linked this CSS to the HTML, right?
Yes.
Okay. So, because you've already linked it, so automatically what we style on the CSS, you reflect in the HTML.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, and this is one way of applying CSS to the HTML, and then you can now add your properties to it, and then it will reflect in the HTML. So, where is our notepad? So we've talked about tags. Now you know the basic. You know what tags mean. Tag is just opening bracket, open angle bracket, closing angle bracket, basically. And then you have and then we now have HTML elements. You have elements. You have paragraph elements. Those are elements. Paragraph. You have mark. You have emphasis. You have many of them. We are going to look at all of them one after the other. So we've talked about meta tags. We've talked about title, and we already understand styling to an extent, to a minimal point. You understand tags, elements. We've installed our extensions. Okay, so let's move forward to more elements now. Let's move forward to more elements and see how we can apply them in our HTML. So let's go back to the HTML. So this is body, as I've explained. So now let's have our h1 elements. We have h1 elements. We have h2 elements. This should be in small letter. Try as much as possible to write your code in small letter. H2 elements, so it doesn't get scattered. Just maintain small letter. H3, so it doesn't become complex. So usually this is a should I say best practice. Let me say best practice. You shouldn't try as much as possible not to exceed H3. Try as much as possible not to exceed H3. You can use between H1, H2, H3. Now this is the structure. H1 usually is the biggest text size you will find on a page. Is the biggest. It's supposed to be the biggest, and you usually find this in the hero section. That's the beginning of the website, from the first section, right? Or it depends on the design of the website you want to use. Maybe you want to apply. You can have your hero section, your H1 in between the website at the center or something. Depends on the animation, but H1 is usually the biggest size you will ever find, right? Followed by H2 in case you want to have another heading in a different section, but no heading should be bigger than the H1. And you use H1 only once in your website design. You use H1 only once. Let's have an example. Let's use or visa.com. I love their website design. Visa.com. Is it Visa? Yes, I think it's Visa. Okay, it's visa. So now in this,
Sorry, Mr. Mike, can you come again? I didn't really get that part.
yeah, I said H1 should be the biggest text element that we have on the page.
Okay, okay, yes, yes, yes,
And then we
yes.
can now have H2. I think what are these ones doing? They're not, I don't know what is wrong. They're not allowing me use. So let's proceed. Would try we'll try something else. So H1 usually is the biggest, and then followed by H2. That's heading. H1 stands for heading 1, and then you have heading 2, and then you have heading 3. Just in case you want to have, you know, heading in other sections of the website. And after heading, of course, what follows is a paragraph. Usually a paragraph that describes what the heading is saying, right? So you have text. So you usually have text in between the tags. Like this is the one I can say build beautiful website with us. I can have it like that. And then if I bring it down, I can have um, a paragraph. P is for paragraph. P element stands for paragraph. So this paragraph is going to describe what we mean by build beautiful website with us. Just like, you know, a much more detailed description of what the headline text is meant for. So we can say with two 250k you can make your dream business come alive in few days. Put exclamation mark and then you save. Now this paragraph. So now because this H2 and H3, because there's nothing in between, there's no meaning to it at all because we've not defined it. So if I run this now and check, if I go live, you can see build beautiful website with us. You can see how bold it is because it is H1. Automatically the browser has programmed it to be like that. So when you have H1, it's usually bold and it's usually big in that manner because it's like the biggest. So now you have paragraph that is describing that is like a sub to the H1. But now this is red because don't forget in our CSS we have already stated that paragraphs should be red. So we can change it back. We can go to our CSS and change it to delete. We clear this brown out. We clear the text. Make sure the semicolon is still there so that you just input the actual color. We can have black. You can type black and enter. And then save. So automatically it will have changed. So we can have it like that. We can go back to our HTML. So we have that. Now we need to have, let's have top section, or before we have top section, let's look at other elements apart from the H1, H2. Let's try H2 as well so that you can see the difference. Now there's another element that we need to learn, that we need to understand. That element is called horizontal rule. It's used to just divide section. So I can come in between, bring it down at the end of the first paragraph, the first H1 and paragraph. Let's have a line. Let's call it HR. This HR now is a self-closing tag, just like the meta tag. Just put it there. It is already there. And then come to the next line. Now we have H2. Let's type into H2. Let's call this learn or buy me 2 baskets of oranges. Then let's bring it down. Let's have paragraph for this as well. P for paragraph, enter. This is explaining, why we need 2 baskets of. I need 2 baskets, or I need many oranges for the shoot at Lekki on Monday. Control S. That's paragraph. Live reload is not possible without a head or body tag. We have head and body tag. So let's go live again. It's big, but it's not as big as this. So buy me 2 baskets of oranges, and then we have the paragraph. Build beautiful website with us. This is H1, this is the paragraph, this is H2, and this is the paragraph that follows. So let's have another one, the H3. So to have the H3, let's have horizontal rule again. Bring it down, HR, just to divide. I'm with you.
So what was that line? What was the test?
It's a divider.
That's that HR.
Yes, horizontal rule, just like the ruler you have in Figma.
So like what's like is it that's the tag that you use for like if you want to break your words like in sentence, right? Like if it's too long.
No, that's not it. That one is different. No, that one is different. That one is BR.
Okay, that one is better, like to break the.
Yes. Let's say for example, we want to break this text now. We want to make it 2 lines. Okay, let's make each of our paragraphs 2 lines. Let's break this one from business. Make your dream business come, then alive will go under. We can just come in between come and then alive. Then we'll have our BR. And then it will be like that. Then shoot at Lekki. Let's just come in between shoot at and then put our BR and save. Control S or Command S, and then let's check the browser to see the effect. You see, come alive, so it has broken because we added BR between come and alive. Shoot at Lekki, because we put BR between shoot and at, it has broken the line. Do you understand? Are you getting it?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So BR is different from HR. So this is BR to break. HR is the horizontal rule to divide, to create, to differentiate different sections. So we can have. So now let's look at, or let's have H3 just to complete it. H3, Apple laptops are quite heavy these days. paragraph, P, enter.
Sorry, I wanted to ask a question.
Yes, I'm with you.
So that BR for breaking the lines now. So we can decide to put it down like, what is it possible?
We can decide to do what?
Like that, like the way it is on this same line on that P tag, paragraph,
like this, right?
Yes. Can we decide to like break that brick?
You mean like bring it down like this?
Yes.
No, not necessarily.
Do that. You know, like now, if we're writing a very long write-up now, like this website that if the write-up that is there is a little bit long, we need to like, can we like write it small then put the BR down?
Yes, you can do that.
Okay.
You can
like,
do that.
It will not affect.
No, it will not. It won't. You mean what you mean is if you bring down this BR like this,
Yes.
it won't affect it as long as the BR is in between come and alive. The length of your text in the code does not matter.
Okay.
As long as you maintain the tags maintain their position in between the text elements. The space here doesn't really matter. What matters is the code. And there's a way to even wrap your text if it's getting too long.
Okay.
Yes, there's a way to, if you right click, you can see text wrap. I don't know why mine is not showing. There's text wrap. There's supposed to be text wrap if you right click. Can you check yours if it's there?
Okay, let me check.
You can't see it.
I can't see it.
Okay. That should be shift. Let's try shift and Z. Shift and Z. No, not command Z. Okay, I'll confirm the shortcut for it. But normally when you right click, you are supposed to see text wrap while you are typing. Go to pick, find. Okay, let's proceed. We'll figure that out later. So where did we stop? So you have the BR, then you have the HR. Right, now let's look at other elements, other tags that we can use. Now to create more space, I can bring this body, this one, I can bring it down so that I can have more space. Then I can come here, also bring this one down. Where is it? This is paragraph, this is H3. I can bring it down just to see clearly what we are doing. I can bring the HR down to have more space. Bring this down, next paragraph, bring the HR down, just align it, close this, bring this down, then the body. Now it's clear. So now we want to have address. We can say, okay, if I want to type, let's bring this under this, let's say address, let's say number 5, number 5 Eleroa Street, Wema Board Estate, Ikeja, Lagos. Command S. Need to still make it obvious or make it clear that it's an address. You can see the format. You can see that, or let's break the line so that it look more like an address. Let's break the line from here, BR, and then we check it. You can see the font is different. Now it's not showing because I did not save it. Now it has broken. You can see that the font is different. It's showing in italic. Can you see? Please make sure you are trying this as we are checking one after the other. Are you trying it? So if you want to type address, you use the address tag. And this is also very important. This is HTML semantic. It's very important for the browser so that the browser can know that this is an address. And also, like I explained earlier, if any user is using an assistive device that is reading, or a screen reader that is reading information from the website you created, they can easily detect that this is an address. Do you understand? Because you have written the code, you have written it that this is an address. So it has highlighted it as an address, not a regular or typical paragraph. So we can have that. Then we also have mark. In case, let's say for example, you want to mark this quiet now. Let's say Apple laptops, let's say we want to mark Apple itself. We can come here. Apple is what we have business with. Apple is the one we want to highlight. So we'll come to the beginning of Apple and then the end of Apple. The opening tag will be before the Apple in the front, and then the closing tag will be at the back of the Apple, so that the mark element can have effect on only Apple, since Apple is the only one we want to, is the text we want to highlight. So we use the mark element on it. So we'll come here to the front of Apple and then type mark, enter. You see, automatically when you type mark and enter, it will display the opening and closing tag. So you are now going to highlight the Apple text, Control X to cut, or you can delete and manually paste it, copy and delete and paste it in between the mark and the opening tag and closing tag of mark. So I can Control X this, it automatically delete it, and then I can come in between opening and closing tags, mark tags, and then Control V, which is to paste, and then save it, Control S or Command S. And then if I come here back to the browser, you can see I've marked this Apple. So that's another element. That's another useful element. So we have another one. We have strong also. Let's say for instance, now we have strong and then we have emphasis. Let's say for instance we come to two basket, we come to another paragraph, we say buy me 2 baskets. Let's say this basket, now we want to add strong to it. We just come here to the beginning, just the same way, type strong and then basket, copy basket, cut rather, since we still want to paste it here, come in between the strong elements and then Control V, which is to paste, Control S to save, and then come back to the browser, and then where is it, basket. Oh, okay, it's not obvious because this is already bold. We are supposed to apply it to the paragraph. Where is it? So it's not going to take effect because it's already bold. The headline text is already bold, so it cannot be obvious. So we just remove this. Although it's not bad for semantic, a screen reader can still read it and still pick out the basket as very important, because the essence of applying the strong element to a particular word is to make it stand out. It's like you are telling the screen reader or you are telling the browser that this particular word is important, so pay more attention to it. That's what it means. But it's just not visible to the human eyes in the H2 line, because the H2 already is bold. But if you apply it to any of the words in the paragraph, it will be obvious. So if I type strong here and then let me take it back, and then I cut orange and then paste it in between strong elements, Command V and then Command S or Control S, and then I go to the browser. Where is it now? It will be obvious, because naturally the paragraph text is not bold, so now it's going to be obvious. You can see oranges is bold in this text, in this line of text now. So that's strong for you. So strong is used to lay emphasis, is used to make a particular text bold in between other text. So you can go back and try emphasis as well. Let's try emphasis on the third paragraph. Let's add emphasis to the 250k, for example. EM for emphasis, cut 250k, because we still want to paste it in between emphasis elements. Paste it, save, and then go to the browser. 250k. The font is different. Now it's showing it in a different font, seeming like italic. Then another element we can look at again subscript and superscript. Let's say we have for example, let's say you want to write a formula. For example, let's have a paragraph. Let's have a paragraph P, enter, and then let's say we want to write a raised to power 2 equals b square plus c square, for example. Now, how do we write c square? How do we write b square? How do we write a square? We can't just do that, because this is not a calculator. So there's an element we can use for that. We can use superscript, for example. Superscript. So just come here and just type superscript sup, enter, 2, right? Come here, sup, this stands for superscript 2. Come here, sup 2, and then save. Let's check. Can you see? So we have a square equals b square plus c square, right? That's superscript. Then we have subscript. Let's say you want to put maybe you want to write C2H2HO, like chemical formula, for example. Instead of having the 2 at the top, we want to have the 2 at the bottom. We can say subscript, for example. We can change this to subscript, for example. We can say, instead of super, we can edit it to sub, like that. this also the closing tag to sub, sorry, command Z, take it back to the way it was. Okay, this also, instead of sup, we change it to sub, enter, this to sub, this to sub, and this to sub. Are you guys still there? Are you okay? So you see it has changed. I can hear you.
So I said you can just use superscript and do the subscript different instead of clearing the first one
Okay, like do it separately.
separately. Yes, sir.
Okay, so since we already have subscript, let's have superscript under then.
Yes.
So we'll come here. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? So it's here. So we'll just form another line, and then we can put hr just to differentiate it from another line, and then we can copy and paste this line. Now this is another trick again. Before I put hr, let me delete this hr. We can copy, you can highlight this line of code and then shift and alt and then press down button to copy, to duplicate this line. Shift and alt. Let's say I want to duplicate this like 4 times. I'll hold down shift and alt, and then that's while highlighting this, and then press down button, and then I'll have multiple copies of it. That's another faster way to copy a line of code. So we have it like that. So I'll just change this to sup, select sup, so after this one, there are other elements we need to look at that will be useful. Basically, there are so many elements, right?
Call it about time, sir.
What do you say?
Call it about time. I just saw the notification.
Okay, can you create another one and share with us on the group? Or should I create it? Did you hear me? Hello? Did you hear me? Oh, I think it has ended.